Cuba, it's me! Welcome to episode 79 of The Willu Show, which stands for Wrestling is Life. Life is Wrestling. Today, I wanted to do embarrassing myself. Now, I know when I wrestle out there, a lot of times I embarrass myself, but some of them were not ones that I really wanted to embarrass myself on. So these are my 10 moments that I embarrassed myself. Now, there's lots. So I just narrowed it down to 10. The first ones I could think of. Some of them have escaped me. It's been so long that I've forgotten them, or I've just chosen to block them out of my brain. And other ones, I've got hit in the head a lot. So let's do 10 embarrassing moments that I remember. Here's the first one. One time I was wrestling Eddie Osborne in Tilsonburg, and I listed this in my top 10 worst matches episode, and I did not tie these pants properly, and they fell down, and I wrestled the rest of the match trying to hold up my pants while everyone could see my boxer shorts. Very embarrassing. I'm a very shy person when I'm out in public, and it was really hard for me to be a wrestler because I'm so shy. I've totally gotten past that now, but especially back in the day, I was extremely shy being out in front of a crowd, and when my pants fell down, um, I I didn't know what to do. I panicked. I wanted to run to the back, but I tried and tried to finish the match. In another match, I went to do this thing where I ran and jumped off the rope, kind of like how Chris Jericho does the Lionsault. I was gonna do a different move though. I think I was gonna jump and do a tornado DDT. But when I went to jump to the second rope, I completely missed and I ended up crotching myself. So to the fans, it looked like I just ran and jumped penis first onto the second rope. They were probably like, what is he doing? Like, really? He looks like he's going to go try and move and then he just jumps penis first onto the second rope. And I kind of froze. I didn't know what to do. Like, the guy I was wrestling expected me to go for a move after that. And I was like, shouldn't I sell my broken penis? And so eventually he had no choice but to start beating me up, and the whole match kind of went downhill from that. The third one that I can think of is I was on a tour with Thorne, and I was in a tag team match. It was Thorne and Eddie Osborne versus me and Ernie Todd. And somehow they went outside the ring, and I got the crowd fired up, and I got ready, and I ran, and I went to do a tremendous dive over the top rope onto Thorne. But unfortunately, I was paying attention to the dive more than where I was in the ring, and I tripped on Ernie Todd's foot, and I still tried to dive, so I basically just went up, and then I was coming straight down on my head. Thorne basically saved my life on this, and it just looked really bad. Like, I basically was coming straight down, just missing the apron, and he pretty much did save my life, but it was going to be such a great dive, and then I tripped on Ernie Todd's foot. The next one, I was wrestling in a tag match back in 2001. It was me and Lars Phoenix against the Highlanders. Now, I had come up with some really great moves as Lars was a big, huge, strong guy, and I was like, we could do something really creative. So I thought, why don't I run at Lars, and then he kind of goes like this and gives me a boost over him, and I flip over and do a blockbuster onto Rory McAllister. It was going to be a great move, folks. I knew it. I could picture it in my head. It was going to be awesome. Like, who does, what do they call that? Where a boosting blockbuster. Never been seen before. So, I ran at Lars. He gave me a good base. He pushed. And I somehow just misjudged it. And Rory McAllister was here, and I went way over here, and I flipped like way after. I tried to put my arm out to clothesline him, completely missed him. I think he still fell down because the air of my hand breezed by his ear. Needless to say, no one was really happy with me on that move, and I beat myself up on that for a while. I was supposed to go here, and I went over here. So I basically just ran at Lars, and he vaulted me over there. It's like his own partner. He just throws him over here. Wasn't my best moment. The next one happened just recently. I wrestled in Cambridge on Friday against Jesse Bieber. And I hadn't eaten all day. It was a long day of work and everything like that. And so I ended up eating McDonald's like an hour or so before the show. And I ate lots of McDonald's. Probably not the best idea. I finished it off with about 6 chicken nuggets after I had like a burger and fries and a couple pops. And okay, so my stomach was rumbling and everything else like that. Well, at one point, it was just a normal move. I ran off the ropes and he gave me a forearm. Well, I turned around and I puked up half a chicken nugget right in the ring. Everyone could see the puke drool was running down my face. There was a little girl that's a germaphobe, that's a fan there, and she was like traumatized by this, and her dad had to lie and tell her that it was just like a piece of tape or a ribbon or something so that she would still like me. So the match ended up going good, and I didn't puke anything after that, but just that one half a chicken nugget, I don't know what they did with it. Like, I couldn't see. Did the ref kick it on the floor? Did they get a towel and wipe it up? I don't know. But yeah, half a chicken nugget puked up. The next one was, I do an entrance now. I didn't always do it like this, but I come out fired up and I run around as fast as I can, kind of like the Ultimate Warrior, but really silly and like engaging with the fans. And so I do circles around the ring, and one time I was wrestling in Kitchener in the Alpine Club, and I was going full bore running around the ring, and I failed to notice, because I was too caught up in the moment, that there was a little puddle of beer by one of the fans, and I slipped, and I don't know, I think people thought I meant to do it because I'm so silly. That's the good thing about playing an embarrassing character, is when you do embarrassing things, sometimes they think it's just part of the show, so I just went with it. But it was not planned, and I got pretty red in the face. I was blushing, but it was just the entrance, so on with the match I went. Another time, I was wrestling, and this was in Brantford at Jay's place, and I can't remember what was happening, but somehow we were outside of the ring, and like, I can't remember, I think someone hit my head off the apron or something like that, and I was just selling, going around, and I turned around and I farted right in a fan's face. I did not mean to. I don't usually before a match comes, I get really nervous and I feel like I have to go to the bathroom or I feel gassy. But once you get out there, it all like goes away. It's just like the nerves and the butterflies. But I guess that day I was just extra gassy, and it was extra stinky gas, and literally the fan's face was right here, and I turned and farted right, and it was a girl too, right in her face, and I don't think she cheered me much after that. The next one, I was wrestling in Tilsonburg. I think it was against Eddie Osborne. It was a Wild Thing Willie Allen show. It was Eddie Osborne, and we did this match and everything, and then at the end, somehow he cheated to beat me. And that was the match. And I thought, you know what? Like, he didn't hit me with like a big finisher. He just like rolled me up and put his feet on the ropes or something. So I was like, and he was just standing right there, and I'm like, I'm not just gonna let him walk off after cheating me like that. So I'm like, I'm gonna dive on him. So I tried to do the dive through the ropes onto him. And then, but he didn't know I was coming, so he started walking this way, back towards the back. So like, I was trying to dive straight out and do that dive on him, but then he was walking away, so I like tried to turn, so I tried to do like a sideways cross body through the ropes, and I basically completely missed him and just hit him his hands, or my hands on him, and I kicked this fan right in the head. And I was like, oh no, it was my first time ever getting booked there. I'm like, I was so embarrassed, so I just like, didn't know what to do. I was like, I just missed the dive. I just kicked a fan square in the head, like right on the temple, like probably the face too. And I was really worried about that. Like, I don't know if it was embarrassing. And so anyway, he went to the back. I was like, I'm gotta get to the back. I don't want to be out here anymore. And then after the show, the fan came up to me, and he was so thankful and grateful that I kicked him in the head. He was like, that was the best thing, man. You kicked me right in the head. I'm like, oh, good. Yes, I'm glad you're happy. You're not hurt. Like, it turned out in my favor that because I thought he was going to be very upset or complaining or hurt or anything. And so another one, the eighth one is, I was doing my entrance. This was in, I believe it was in Kitchener also. And I was doing my entrance, running around, and I'm just getting so into it, and if the fans are there and putting their hands there, I'm trying to hit them all, and I sometimes get them, and sometimes I miss. Well, the one time, not only did I miss the lady's hand, I completely missed and got a whole bunch of boob. And it wasn't just like a graze of boob, I like completely got her boob, and may have even like pushed on it too, and Luckily, I saw her after and I apologized, and she thought it was comical. I guess she didn't think I did it on purpose, which I didn't. It made me think, though, maybe I should try and do that more. I should try and pretend to miss and maybe get a little boob action, but I did not mean to do that, and I was like very embarrassed because I noticed right away. But I just kept going, like just go with it, like improv, right? Another time, this would be the last one, I guess, is let me see. Yeah, pants slipped off. 6, 7, 8. Yeah, this would be number 10. One time I was wrestling a tag match, and it was like one of those open streets things for like, I think it was Wild Thing Willie Allen. It might have been Mike O'Shea. It was like one of these things. It was like in Elmer or Orangeville or something like that. Maybe Elmira. I can't remember exactly. And I was wearing a mask, and I was in this tag match. I can't remember who was in it. And I was waiting for the tag, but like in my mind, I had a lot of time that I was gonna wait to get this tag. Like it didn't look like I was gonna get it soon. And there was a couple very beautiful girls that were sitting in the front row. And so I was paying attention to the match, I guess, mostly. And I just couldn't help myself, and I just was taking a couple glances at the beautiful bodies of these lovely ladies in the front row. And then, okay, that was nice. I got a nice little glimpse, and then I paying attention to the match. And so I couldn't help myself. I glanced over again, and I was looking right at this girl's boobs. And I looked up, and she was staring right at me, and she did not have a good look on her face. She did not seem pleased, and I noticed she booed me the entire match after that, when before I was a real good guy, and some of the fans, she turned some of the other fans too. I seen her talking, and I was glad I was wearing a mask. Let's put it that way. That like 4 or 5 times I actually wore a mask, that was the most time I was glad I was wearing a mask. So those are my 10 most embarrassing moments. These things happen when you're a wrestler. Some of them were my own fault. Some of them are just, it's just the odds. You can't execute moves 100% of the time perfect. You're gonna have, look at Botchamania. So I wish I had some of these on tape. Not some of them, but some of them on tape. So anyway, these are my 10 most embarrassing wrestling moments. What are some of the funny things you've seen at indie shows? Or if you're a wrestler, what are some of your embarrassing moments? Which leads me into like, or you get a leg drop. Comment, or you get a clothesline. Subscribe, or you get a suplex. We all have bad days at work. These are some of mine. I'm your host of The Willow Show, episode 79, Elian Habanero. I love wrestling. Cuba!